Streetlifting is a fairly new sport, and one of my goals is make more people know about this sport so it can grow. So first, what is streetlifting? Streetlifting is a sport similar to powerlifting in terms of style and rules on the competition, but we have different movements. We have 4 movements: the muscle up, the pull up or the chin up, the dip, and the squats. And if I'm not wrong, in Russia, they only do the pull-ups and dips in competition. Meanwhile, here in Europe and in the US, we do all the 4 movements. In competition, we attempt our 1 rep max, and the winner is obviously the one who carries the most total amount of weight. First, you'll probably need to change your training style and treat your training style more like powerlifting, because the goal here is to get as strong as possible in these 4 movements. Secondly, you can't train to failure if you want to get stronger. You train to failure if you want more hypertrophy and muscle development, but training for strength, training streetlifting, which is for strength to increase your 1 rep max, you can't train to failure. You will rarely train to failure because this can affect negatively your training. I made this mistake in the beginning. I would do 5x5 RPE 10 on the pull-ups and a couple more back exercises till failure, and I would take my biceps till failure. I'd progress for a month and then I wouldn't progress for the next 3 months. And for a year and a half, my pull-ups didn't make a progress because I was treating it like a bodybuilding style. I think like going to failure will make me stronger. I need to do more and more and more. That's how I will get stronger. But that's incorrect. You need to have a good program with the right volume, right frequency, right intensity. Everything has to be well calculated. This is how you get stronger. This is how you progress in strength training. Bodybuilding is a different story. By doing this that I did in the past, you will fry your nervous system and you will see no progress. You'll be always tired and you will never reach the peak, because there's a peak and valley phases in your strength training, and you'll be only on the valley and you can't go up, which is very frustrating. And thirdly, streetlifting is a bit different from powerlifting because you have 4 movements and it's hard to progress on those 4 movements well at the same time. You will have periods that you see no progress in 1 or 2 movements and see good progress in 1 or 2 movements, because also your body weight has an effect on this. The heavier you are, the dips and the squats probably will be better. And the leaner you are, the less weight you're carrying your body, your muscle ups and pull-ups will get stronger faster. So how do you progress? First, you need a good training program. And what makes a good training program? Your structure, the volume, frequency, and intensity must be well calculated. So let me give you an example which will make things easier to understand. Let's say you're doing heavy muscle ups and heavy pull-ups in the same day. What this is gonna do is make you super tired for the pull-ups. No, usually we start with the muscle ups and then we go to the pull-ups. And if you do a heavy set of muscle up and you go for a heavy set of pull-ups, you'll see that your performance will not be the best, and this on the long term can affect your progress on both of the exercises. The best thing for you to do is do a heavy muscle up and then a light pull up, or a light muscle up and then a heavy pull up. This will allow you to have a good performance in both, and you will not fry your nervous system. You will progress well in every workout or every second week or whatever. Also, you have to know when you're going to do a light session and a heavy session to make sure your structure is well, so you don't fry your nervous system and you commit mistakes that will affect your program. Of course, according to your goals, the frequency of the movement you're going to do, the volume of the movement you're going to do will change. For example, you want to maintain your squats and increase your pull-ups. Probably you will do squats once or twice a week and do muscle-ups 3 times a week. And when it comes to calculating your volume, intensity, and frequency, it's a very important thing, because by doing this, you will not overshoot, you will not overtrain, you will not fire your nervous system. Because this is a big mistake, and I did this in the past a lot, so that's why I'm repeating this a lot. Strength training is more of a smart program than hard working getting your body to failure. This is just facts. Because if you want to progress well and not injure yourself and not be on the valley for long periods of time, you have to structure well and have a smart program. Now, what is the weight that you should use in your training sessions? So I'll try to put it as simple as possible for you to understand what is the weight that you should work with, how many reps and sets you should do a week. So first things first, the load. You will work with 50 to 80% of your 1 rep max. The sets, you will aim for 6 to 10 sets a week on each movement depending on your goals. And the reps will be between 3 and 6. And of course, things can be very different, but I'm giving you the simplest example as possible so a beginner can start training for street lifting. I can go in more details, but this probably will not be so important for people that want to start this sport. Start with the basics, the simplest things possible, and as you progress and as you get stronger, you can go to more specific things or other training programs and styles. I'll leave here 2 ways you can structure your program so you can make progress and not overshoot or injure yourself or whatever. You have to find your peak performance body weight and stick to that body weight so you can make a decent progress in all 4. But of course, there will have periods that you have to pick 1 or 2 movements that you want to get stronger and work on it a lot. Basically, you have to prioritize certain movements at certain periods. For example, you're closer to competition, you'll train your muscle ups more. In my case, I do this. I don't train muscle ups most of the time. In the last month before competition, I start training muscle ups because I don't like to train muscle ups, to be honest. If I train muscle ups a lot, I start feeling a discomfort in my wrists and on my elbows, which I don't like. So yeah, most of the year I don't train muscle ups, and I still do progress in the muscle ups because my pull-ups get stronger, and the stronger your pull-ups are, the stronger your muscle up will be. So that was it, guys. See you in the next video.